This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So in the last class, we were discussing about this types of system testing, right? In that, just recollect once again what we were discussing. We were discussing smoke testing, formal testing, retesting, regression testing, and also adapt testing, right? So smoke, I just recollect once again, right? Smoke testing is what basically a quick test is conducted on the deployed software to check whether that application is eligible for conducting testing or not. So smoke testing, other names what we have like build verification testing or build acceptance testing or sanity testing, you can say, right? Environment sanity check like that. So if smoke test pass, accept the build and continue your testing. If smoke test fail, reject the build and ask developer to give the stable build, right? So that is what the smoke part. And the formal means yes, you follow some test case documents and systematically, step by step, and conduct testing, right? One second. Right. And formal is like what I said, like you're following some systematic procedures as per the industry norms, like your test case document will be there. You'll open the test case document, you'll check step by step according to the test case document, which is like formal. Right. During formal testing, any step is getting failed, you will be escalating the defects to the developer. So that is formal. Right. Once the developer fix that issue, you release the modified build. On that modified build, again, you have to check that failed test cases, whether they are working correctly or not. So which we call it as what retesting. Right. So regression is what that failed test cases, once again, checking on the modified build is called what? Retesting. On that retesting, once you do, that is like you can also do if you are doing on the modified build, you can say unit regression also we can say. So for this failed one, what are the dependencies are there? That also we need to check, even though they are passed in the previous build, right? So that remaining part you are checking and the failed one you are checking all together, what you can call it as regression. So under that regression, we have three types like unit regression, regional regression, and full regression. So unit regression is what the failed one checking is on the modified build is what you can call it as unit regression. And on the failed one, any dependencies are there that all you are checking on the modified build, even though they are passed in the previous build. Again, you are confirming for its correctness, which is called regional regression, right? And finally, one more is full regression. Full regression is what all you are checking. So when to do full regression, if you don't know the dependencies, we'll be doing the full regression. If you know the dependencies, we'll be doing only the regional regression. That means on the modified build also, you are supposed to check all the functionalities are working fine or not. As simple as that. Right, first, but which order you will come? You come with the first failed one, you check, and the dependencies and remaining. And adapt testing is what, if you don't have time to develop the test cases, and the senior testers or experience-based testers will adopt the application, okay, based on the experience. They try to test the application, right? So that is one thing, ad hocing or testing the application uneven way, or you can say like we have some more types of testing like monkey testing, hmm, gorilla testing. So you're checking the application in zigzag way in order to find the hidden defects. So you can say monkey testing the functionality heavily again and again, same functionality, which you can call it as gorilla, like that. We have some names. But we'll try to understand some more types of testing today. Let's see. Hmm. Next, end-to-end testing we have. What is this end-to-end testing? So before, like end-to-end testing is nothing but before we give our application to UAT. So that means system testing, once it is done, we will give it to UAT, right? So before giving to UAT, the overall functionalities are tested or not. We will check. So checking the overall functionalities of the application along with its data integration is what you can call it as end-to-end testing. So this will be carried by the domain experts before releasing our application to your UAT. Means all. So before it goes to the UAT, all we are going to check by expert. So some do functional part, some do integration part, some do like all the whatever the types of testing there which we have to do, that all we cover it and make sure that it is eligible for UAT. Before sending to UAT, we see that all the end-to-end functionalities are working fine. Any integration part is left or any functional part is left, right? That all we'll see and we cover it and we'll send it to UAT. So that is what end-to-end testing. And mutation is what, mutation testing. One more point we need to understand is mutation. Mutation means change in code. Generally, what developer will do, in some scenarios, what is happening, mutation testing means some situations, developer will write some program, they'll write some piece of code, okay, and they'll ask a tester to test it. Okay, now tester tested this code, it is working fine. Okay, now suppose the same program again, developer wrote here 3 lines of code, the same code, the same program he wrote in 2 lines of code, and again they ask you to check. Now first time this is, they wrote the code and they asked you to check, you checked. When they again what the developer did, they did some changes in the code and asked you to check second time. Okay, second time what is happening, in 2 lines of code that they are trying to make it as 3 lines of code that they are making it as 2 lines, let's say. So you are supposed to check, but what you are doing, the test engineer, tester, what he is doing, earlier just now I checked it, why should I check again? Simply he will pass it. Who knows, this will not work. First time developer gave you the code, and that means a developer gave you the functionality. After writing some code, he gave some output. That output you need to check. That front end only you should check, not the code. Okay, that front end you are checking and it is working fine. But in the back end, he wrote some 3 lines of code or 4 lines of code. Okay, 3 to 4, and it is working. You tested, it is working fine. The same program, the logic, something like suppose like this: C is equal to A plus B. C equal to A plus B. Some addition program I wrote. Okay. Now the same program, how can I write? C equal to B plus A also I can write. This is also correct. This is also correct, right? Something like programmer can write one program in different ways. So sometimes see more lines of code it will be, sometimes less lines of code. So it depends. Okay, but a programmer wrote again some program and ask you to check it. but you didn't check it. Simply formally, orally you passed it, pass use. But when this application, when client is using, this may not work. So this impact the business, right? So as a tester, what we need to do? Once first time developer gave and ask you to check, you should test it. Second time developer gave the code, again you ask you to check, again you should check from the beginning whether this is working or this is working or something like that. That means the functionality front end side you should check. Blindly you cannot pass it, right? Let's say if you do like that, who knows, it may not work. So these things can happen. So mutation means what? Change in code. Here one program he wrote, here one program he wrote. So whenever he write any program and ask us to check, immediately all the possible ways, I mean, I need to check first time also I need to check, second time also I need to check and make sure that it is working fine here also, here also. Then our testing is 100% successful. Correct. Suppose here you checked and here you didn't check, simply it is not working, but still then you passed it. Who knows, the clients and the client environment, it may not work. This can happen. So mutation means changes. Generally, he did some changes in the code and asked you to check. But what we did, we are not following the rules. First time also we should check, second time also we need to check. But we didn't check because it's a bizarre job again and again and again. So that should not happen. So if it's by lucky it's working fine, okay, you are safe because you didn't test it. But in case it is not working, then you are caught. So these things should not happen, right? So generally mutation testing means change in code. Sometimes what will happen, testing the testers. When client wants to check the tester how they are working, client wants to check the testing team. So they ask developer to inject some defect. They inject some defect and they gave you. Okay, and you passed it. They wanted to know there is a defect in the application, but they know that, but you don't know. They ask you to check it. You simply passed it. That means what? Testing process is not going correctly. So what client can do? Client, suppose client is some HDFC or Citibank. Okay, now this bank, Citibank person, what he will do? Now you are the some Deloitte person or Deloitte. Okay, you are not doing correctly. So simply what he will do, he will cancel this project and we will move back to some other company, some TCS or like that. And this project will, from here they will continue. Right? What is there? If the client wants, he can cancel the agreement, he can go to the next one, right? Next company. So that's generally what I'm trying to say is it won't go that level, but still, so if they want to check this one, client wants to check the process whether it is going or not, what it will, they will ask developer to change the code and check whether they are doing correctly or not. So wantedly testing the testers. Okay, it is a process of injecting the defect wantedly to confirm whether the testing process is going correctly or not. So what I can say mutation. Simply, actually, mutation means some change in code. Here did the changes, and after some time again he did changes. They are asking you to check both the ways they are working or not. After that again he do some changes. Again it is working or not. So like that he tries. So the better way. So every time he go for changes, the tester also should check it correctly. That way it is going fine. It's no problem. But if you are skipping and if you are ignoring or if you are just passing it, if it is passed, that's not a problem. Working fine, not a problem. But if it is not working fine, that that client is facing the problem, then it gives impact to the business. And that we should take care of. Generally, the word mutation means change in code, or you can say it is a process of injecting the defects wantedly in order to confirm the testing process, or simply testing the testers. Right? That is what mutation testing. Is that clear? Next, exploratory testing. Exploratory testing is something like You're exploring the application by adding or modifying the existing testing for better testing. Suppose, for example, already you tested our manual testing people tested that you followed the test case document and you check that application. Again, what I'm doing, I'm giving this application to some senior experts. Again, senior experts, they will not read test case document and do testing, right? So they will just explore it. Okay, they'll explore all the screens and they'll try to check it. Okay, our senior testers, client side, whoever working on site like that, they want to see that how this application is working. So they go directly. They don't go and read test case document and check. They don't go and see the functionalities, whatever they are expecting from that software. They'll see directly and explore them and test it, right? So that way, this exploratory testing carried out. Okay. So who will perform? Domain experts, experience-based testers will perform. Next, error guessing. Error guessing is what error guessing and exploratory testing are like, like what you can see is experience-based testers will do. Like based on the prior experience, suppose who are there in the team? Reddy is there. Okay, Reddy is a senior tester, let's say. Okay, now Reddy, I gave this application to senior tester to check it. Why I gave to that person? Because he have experience in that application. Earlier also he worked in that project. We done testing. We have done our normal testing. And again, I want that person to check. Why? Because suppose we are working on some insurance or banking application. So this banking project he done earlier also. Okay. In the banking project, he worked earlier also. Earlier means his previous project was banking project. Before that also he worked on banking project like that. So he have full experience. He have domain knowledge. So where exactly the problem comes, where he faced in the previous project, where exactly the problems, serious problems he faced, that all the experience he have. Okay. Now this is again new project which we gave to him to test. That is also a banking project. Okay. Now that banking application we tested. Okay. Again we are telling that person, hello boy, please check it whether any new defects or hidden defects are there or not. Can you check once again from your side? As a senior tester, I am telling you to do it. Okay, because you are having full experience, can you do and check and let us know any defects are there? So what you will do based on your prior experience, you'll try to drive some inputs there. Means you will think that okay, in my last project when I was doing some when I was testing some fund transfer functionality, there is a situation I transferred 5,000 rupees, but uh, it has went only 500 rupees from my account, something like that, which is a serious issue. Now that issue was found by me, so and even developer accepted it and he fixed it. Let me check whether the same problem is occurring here or not, like that. So somewhere in the earlier project, in the same kind of banking project, I faced some problem. Let me try that here also. Who knows that problems detect here, right? So what he will do, the same situation, he will try to go and check. Suppose his guess may become true. Here also it may not work. Same thing. That means what he did he follow the test case document and check that one? No. Simply because he have some experience prior experience, there he faced some issues. He's trying those steps, the same thing here also. So sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work. So he may identify, he may not identify, but he's trying that. His guess is becoming true. So if you get the defect, which is a major one, right? So his guess becoming true is want. So what he's doing is driving some inputs based on some prior experience. So in order to identify some hidden defects or tricky defects. Normally, if we go, we don't get such defects. Such why experienced tester needed means like this. Some hidden defects in order to identify that experience-based testers required. So after we do normal testing, so this kind of testing also can be done by the senior testers, like error guessing, exploratory testing. Why? Because to find out some hidden defects. Getting the point? Is this clear? Error guessing, exploratory testing is clear. You use the chat room, okay? Yes, no, like that. And some more type of testing we'll try to understand, right? Like uh, like GUI testing, performance testing, we have like we'll try to understand like what is GUI, what is performance and all. First, GUI testing. GUI stands for graphical user interface testing. Graphical user interface testing means you are verifying the look and feel of the application. You are verifying the look and feel of the application. Whether that application is looking so professionally or not. Whether this application is looking so professionally or not. Suppose I have a website, let's say GoToMeeting website. Let's say this is your page. Let us assume small. So what kind of issues I may find here? Suppose GoToMeeting is the logo. Let's say this is your logo. Okay, if this logo is wrong, will the client accept? If the spelling mistake is wrong, will the client accept? Okay, suppose have a great session is there. This text is supposed to be in the left side. Have a great session is kept here. Have a great session. They kept here. Will it looks correct? What client is expecting? Somewhere in the middle of the screen, I should find this one. But what developer did? He kept in the down. So these all what? So alignment problems, logo problem, spelling mistakes problems. Okay, and anything like a color. Suppose he is expecting some green color. He kept a red color. Developer kept in red color. So such red color, green color wise, font wise, text wise, logo wise, alignment wise. Alignments means left, right, suppose middle. It should be middle. Suppose instead of middle, he kept somewhere in the corner, left side or top or bottom or right side or left corner, somewhere. That alignment problems is all what we call it as. Any alignment problem is there, GUI problem. Any spelling mistake is there, GUI problem. Any logo not correct, it's a GUI problem. Anything which is related to your look and feel comes under graphical user interface problem. Okay, see, suppose re-download. This re-download spelling is wrong means what? It comes under again GUI. Okay, suppose this download option should be in the left side. He kept in the right side. Again, it is a alignment problem. Okay, so these are like alignment problems, look and feel, anything. If the application is not looking so professionally, then they all comes under GUI defects. Verify it is a process of verifying does the application look so professionally or not. It is a process of verifying the user interface of the application to confirm does the application look so professionally or not. Like checking first whatever the objects he is expecting go to is an object. Let's say, is this application, is this available in the application, is it visible in the application? First of all, developer developed okay, developed, but where he has to develop? where he have to keep, in the top or bottom or left or right. So that part, so that alignment problem we need to check. Next, availability, spelling mistakes, background color, text color, fore color, anything related to look and feel comes under GUI testing, right? So if the application looks so professionally or not, which we are supposed to check is what? GUI testing. Next, performance testing. Performance testing is something, yes. Performance testing is to verify the different characteristics like load, stress, endurance part, and the response time part, what you can call it as performance. Like you are sending some request to the server via your application, and in what time the server is giving response to the user. Okay, server is sending a request to the, the user is sending a request to the server. In what time the server is sending the response to him. Okay, suppose I am clicking some, I'm trying to save something. I'm trying to send a message to you. Okay, in what time this message has been received to you? That means something I wrote. Okay, some text message I kept here, and I click send button. As soon as I click send button, it takes some time to navigate to you, right? So in what time the server is expecting, or somebody is trying to access my website. Okay, my website is something like, I have some sample application. So there are some user credentials I have, something like user ID, standard user, underscore user. Password is SECRG. So I give some credentials, and somebody is trying to access this website in order to purchase some products. It's a sample application. Okay. So when I click this, like this, user one will access, user two will access, user three will access, and you want to purchase some items. Okay. But suppose this website should accept how many people at a time. There is some bandwidth. Okay, how many people we need? Suppose 100 people are accessing this website at the same time. Is it system is giving response to all the users or not? So you are sending request that 100 people are, what is your bandwidth? You should tell. Client should tell. Suppose my people around to access this website, there will be around 200 people will be there overall, my customers. If all 200 people are accessing this website, my system should work correctly. Yeah, that customer requirement is like that. 1,000 users, 10,000 users, like that. So he's telling that this limit, if 1,000 people are accessing my website at a time, it should work. That way I am giving the requirement. Okay, what we will do? So we will have to do the performance also, right? Performance part. 1,000 people at a time, if they log in, how the system is working? Is it responding to the user or not? If 200 people is expecting, 200 people at a time working, are trying to connect to the website, is it working or not? It is giving response to the users or not? So we need to check. So how can we check? 200 users means, can I put 200 testers now and ask them to open this website and try to log in at a time? Is it possible? No. Why? Because 200 testers. Suppose customer ask 1,000 means, can I put 1,000 testers and test this application at a time? Because I cannot check one after the other. I have to check all the people should log in at a time. So this cannot happen manually. Performance testing, you have to take the help of some automation tool like load runner, QA load, web load, like that. So what are the tools that we have for automation? That is performance testing tool like load runner, QA load, web load, okay, and JMeter, such tools. Okay, with this tool, what we will do? Okay, this tool will take care of it. So in this tool, we need to tell that I am testing this login functionality. Okay, so with how many users that we need to tell. I want to check with 200 users. So the 200 users, what it will do, that is your request. Request is 200 users. The 200 request, it will convert into virtual request. So virtual request means 200 requests which will go and hit the server in a single thread. Virtually it will go and create. That means the tool will take care of it. So it will create 200 users request, and all the requests will go and hit the server in a single thread. And check you can check your response. All the time 200 people will try to log in at a time and see the response. Let's say customer is expecting that the login should be done in 5 seconds. Customer is expecting that all 100 people log in at a time. Response should be in 5 seconds. Even 100 people, 200 people are logging at a time. Your response should be in 5 seconds. Then what I will do, I'll enter username, password. All 200 people try to enter username, password, click sign in. And this login should be successful within 5 seconds. That means within 5 seconds, if it is responding to the user, then your performance, this application performance is good. Suppose it is taking 10 seconds to respond. Suppose it is taking 15 seconds to respond. Is it correct? Customer expected time is what? 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds, it should work. But it is taking 10-15 seconds. That means there is a defect. So then that is what we need to check. So it is giving response, but giving bit delay. Performance wise, but it's slow. So that we need to correct. So what? So the such things comes under what? Performance. Customer asked 5 seconds, within 5 seconds only that login should work. Even 10 users are 100 users are to the what is the maximum limit he has? That maximum limit also with 200 users also it should respond in 5 seconds. That is how it is request. So in that we will be doing some load test, stress testing, endurance testing, like that. Load means what, you know, if customer is expecting 200 people, means 200 users, means the load is 200. With the 200 load only, I will check this log. All the 200 people will try to log in this website, and what is the response time? Within 5 seconds, it should log. So load is how much? 200. So customer expected load 200 means to with 200 only I will check. More or less not. Only 200. Up to 200, let's say, or else I will check up to 200 and see whether how the system is responding. Stress testing is means what? Stress means more than 200 if you are checking. Like suppose 201, what is the result? 202 people log in. What is the result? 203 people, 204, 205. Like that, I will try to increase the number of users. That is, increase the load. When I increase the load, is it giving response within 5 seconds? More than that. So to some extent, it will give. After that, it will stop giving the response. Somewhere it will stop giving the response. The stop giving the response point is the break-even point. Break-even point. So till the time you will check, right? So that is what stress testing. You're stressing more the application to how long it takes, how long or what extent it will take. You're going and checking. That is again comes under stress. One more type of testing in that performance is endurance testing. Endurance testing means the same login repeatedly I will check. Login, log out. Again login, again log out. Like this repeatedly login, log out we are checking. repeatedly. With how many users means same 200 users. Bandwidth is, that is number of users, the load is 200 with the same 200 users only, but I will check repeatedly. Log out, log out. Is that application working in a proper condition? Stable or not stable? Such things checking is what you can call it as. All this all comes under performance. 200 people only, but this all will do through automation tool, right? Something like stress load endurance means what? Endurance, why? Because to check the durability. Is it working for long period or short period? So any leakages are going continuously, you are checking, right? Log in, log out, like that. Is that application getting freezed somewhere or blocking somewhere, or is this giving a good condition, or is it in a good condition? That's what we are supposed to check as a part of endurance or longevity, we can say. Longevity means is that software is working for a long period or any short period. Any leakages are going or not, we should check. Such things comes under what? Endurance testing. This is all related to your performance testing. So you are just checking the response time of the system, right? So which will perform through automation tool.
Yes, sir. Performance testing cannot be done manually, sir, because if the company does not have any automation tool, then how they will carry the performance test?
Now you only tell me. Now I want to check 100 users. Do we need 100 manual testers now? I need to check that software with 100 at a time. So I need to put 100 people and ask them to check. So where should I bring this 100 testers? So it's a time taking process, and also it will be a huge like uh, you need to invest more on them, like and that too you will not get accurate results because one tester may click login button first, one tester may click login button second time. So at a time they will not click. So how can I test it? How can I get the result? Whereas if it is a tool, definitely see performance testing all the time. Performance is required. Everywhere we will do testing. No, right? Some functionalities, some part of portion of the application you are supposed to check. For that, all the manual testers, so many testers we don't require, right? Right. So for the tool is better. Like we have open source tools also. If the client is not investing, or suppose is not trying to buy the license and all, we can depends on some open source tools also. Okay, like we will download from the online and you can use it. That way also you can work, right? But you need to have to for this. So this compound comes under auto. Yeah. Next is some more types of testing we have, like security testing. Security testing means, yes, you are verifying various security conditions, such as like whether they are properly implemented. Or security conditions means like authentication wise, authorization wise. Okay, like what is authorization, what is authentication? Means verify the system is having the provision of defining users and setting permissions to it, which we call it as authorization. Means suppose are you the authorized student? Yes, because yes, I am joined the session. You are authorized. So something like suppose you opened a bank account. Okay, are you an authorized customer to the bank? Yes, because you are having an account. You can access all the bank applications. That means you are authorized. You have permissions for it because you have an account. You have the user ID, password. You can log in into that website, and you can access the information of your account details. That is your because you are authorized person. Now, let's say Authentication is what? Authentication means you got the bank. Suppose you opened a new bank account and you deposit some 50,000 there, and you got some credentials, and they said like you can try, you can access through login online website also. Okay, what you did, you took the credentials and you are trying to access that website, and you are trying to check your bank details. Now, once you log in, whose information it has to display? Your account details only it has to display. Let us say instead of your account details, somebody else account details it is displaying. Instead of 50,000, some 10 lakhs it is showing to you. So what you have to do? Go and withdraw. What is that? Whose problem it is now? Bank problem. Because your right information is shown to the right user is the authentication. But what happened? It is bank did a mistake. They give the wrong credentials. Now who is getting lost? Customer or banker? And his bank reputation will go. Right? So these things can happen. So that is some banking softwares and everything, why they are more secured. So once any problem comes, it will impact their business, right? So like that. So authentication and authorization is a part of security. Okay, right information is showing to the right user or not is authentication. First of all, that system is identifying the registered users correctly, yeah? And then it is showing right information to the right user. As simple as that. So you are attending some testing tools class. Okay, now you join the class and somebody else is delivering some other trained classes to you. That means right information is shown to the right user. No, somewhere it goes wrong. So that is like authentication, you can say, right? Suppose you have a Facebook account. Okay, first of all, you don't have account. Can you create your account? Yes. Once you create it, you are authorized to that website, right? And once you log in, system should show you your information only, not others. So right information showed to the right user. First of all, your credentials are correct. It is verifying. And then it is trying to log in into the Facebook and showing your details. That is right information is shown to the right user. So which we call it as authentication. If you don't have account, system is having provision to create an account. Yes. Then after creating account, are you able to log in? Yes. And right information is shown to the right user? Yes. So right authentication, authorization, right? And also not only like we need to check different security conditions like direct URL access. Okay, and direct URL access means suppose sometimes what will happen after you log in. Okay, after you log in, somebody copied this URL. Okay, somebody copied your URL, and once you log out, in your absence, they are trying to access with direct URL. What it is doing, since this application is secured, so it is not navigating to the that products page. Suppose directly with URL it is navigating to the product page, means what is the use of username and password giving, right? So it is not allowing. That means it is secure, right? Suppose if it is somebody directly pass this URL and trying to access it, if it is not working, that means a good condition. If it is working means then it is in bad condition. Okay, security wise it is very weak, you can say, right? That is one thing. Not only that, suppose sometimes what will happen, once you give the credentials, once the tester log in into the website, okay, they logged out. Again they click back button, use front and back options. If they click back button, suppose without asking credentials, directly it is going to the products page. What will happen? Without credentials, if it is directly going to the inbox page, I mean products page, then also it is a problem. So you need to check this back and front options. You need to check direct URL access. You need to check, right? Sometimes suppose when I give the password and all, so for this password, how it is showing? Is it showing in an encrypted form or it is directly visible to you? So it is giving in encrypted form. So this encrypted form, it is there or not. This is also comes under secure. If it is suppose visible to everyone, that is not secured. Like ATM pin number, credit card pin number, right? Or CVV numbers. These all all should be in encrypted format or not. That also is part of security test, right? So checking authorization, checking authentication, checking direct URL, checking front and back options, checking some information like encrypted password encryption, whether properly implemented or not. This all comes under what? Security testing. And suppose if it is some banking applications, some banking related. Suppose you are not using this once you log in into the banking website. Okay, let's say something like Citibank or anything. Okay, any Citibank login. Once you log in into that website, okay, you are not using for some time. So once you log in, after you log in, you are not using this website for a while. Automatically, what it will do? The session will get expired, right? Again, you have to give the credentials, and again you should log in. It will not wait for long time. 5 6 seconds, 1 minute or half minute, it will see if the user is not using that website, immediately the session will expire. Again, you should give the credentials, again you should log in. That is good. Suppose if it is for waiting for long period, you may not, you may forget, and somebody else can access your account and withdraw something, or you can do anything, right? That's why it will see for 2 3 1 or 2 half minute or 20 seconds or 30 seconds. If it is not been accessed by anyone, automatically it will get expire. Again, you have to give the credentials. You need to log in. So that way the system has been designed. Yes, that means it is a secured application, you can say, right? So these all security conditions we need to check as a part of security testing. Okay, and recovery testing is also part of security. Recovery means what? Recovery. You are verifying that the system is having a provision of taking backup and restore options or not. Means sometimes suppose you have a laptop, you are using that laptop, suddenly power cut. Okay, all the session got expired, no battery backup. What you will do now? It will go, and after you power is on and you are charging your system, and after that you open that switch on that system, then it will ask you, do you want to restore the previous session? Any browser you open or anything, it will say, do you want to restore your previous session? If you say yes, it will reload everything where you stopped earlier. And if you say no, it will restart from the beginning. So that way, this option is there, this facility is there or not, we need to check. So how well the system is handling in unexpected situations like power failure, system failure. Are you able to take the backup? That recovery option is there. That is what recovery testing is, something like that. So even though, so suddenly due to power failure or anything, unexpected situation happen, but still we can able to recover the data. Such type of testing, what you can call it as recovery testing. Next, we have some installation and uninstallation. Like installation and uninstallation testing means anything, any product you want to install, like GoToMeeting or any website or any app you want to install. What you'll do? There are some instructions, right? Steps, step one, step two, step three. Like you click on that setup file, click next, 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 then it will get installed. So these all procedure what you are following in order to install. that all steps are successfully installed or not. Generally, when it is a finally we purchased and using means it will work. During testing, that all steps are working or not, the tester will check, right? Yes. So any software has been designed or product is designed. If they want to install in your system, first they'll check. They'll prepare. Developer give you some steps. That is like installation guideline. So as per the guidelines, that system is able to install successfully or not. The steps all you will check in the testing. If it is working fine, okay. If it is not, any step is getting failed, we'll tell the developer that so and so step is not working. So developer can fix it. So once everything is working and successfully installable, then only we'll release in the market. Even successfully uninstallable, then only that product will release in the market. So even any product that they develop, in order to install that in your system, first installation and installation, testing will be done. Then once the QA sign up, then only it will come into the market. So as per the installation guidelines, successfully installed or successfully uninstalled. So such things checking is called installation and installation testing. Next, globalization localization testing is also there. Globalization localization testing means, like globalization means internationalization testing, I can say, where this application is designed for global market. Global market means like Google application is there. Okay, this Google application is designed for only one particular India or something like that. No, right? It is overall world you can use. So that is what global. So if anything related to Google, like languages and all, different languages you need to check, different date and time you need to check. So this is all what you can say. Suppose google.com I say. Right. Here you can see different languages you have. Right. So different languages means all the languages are working on different date and time, different currency, depends on your application. So that all as per the requirement, global requirement, the software is working or not. That part checking is called globalization. Localization means any website related to particular locality. Let's say particular locality means TSRTC, let's say Telangana state. If you take suppose this one, this website is throughout the world will use, no, right? Only within the state, that too in Telangana. So what we can check here, if you take languages, mostly English, Telugu or Hindi, this many languages only will have in order to check. In case suppose the user wants to select any option like Telugu, Hindi, English. Suppose he wants to book a ticket, currency. What currency it will have? Only in rupees you'll have. If you check in rupees is enough. Okay. If you want to check something like date and time, what date and time it will be? Default date and time, Indian Standard Time will, right? So there is no specific here. Suppose if you are going and testing uh, globalization application, that means different languages you may have, different date and times you may have, different currency you may have. Here I don't have such problem because it is a localized application. It is related to some particular locality only. So if whatever the default things are there, that if I check is enough. Here I no need to check that like German or French languages like that. Here I no need to check the currencies like US dollars or anything some related to currency. Default currency, rupees, that's it. Default date and time, Indian Standard, that's it. Default languages like English, something like that. So you don't see much uh, vast requirements here, right? Whatever there, this if you check is enough. Right? Like home inquiry, cancel ticket, inquiry, and book a ticket. right? Something like this. So this which you are checking, what you can call it as localization testing. One more type of testing we have, inter-system testing or web services testing or SOA testing or service oriented architecture testing, you can say. What is this SOA or API testing also, we can say. It is simple. One software is accessing other software resources or not. It is a process of checking is that software is accessing or sharing the resources of other software resources or not. Like what? One software is sharing the resources of other software resources or not means, suppose we have a Paytm software, Paytm application. Can I pay any mobile bills through Paytm? Yes. Suppose mobile bill means my mobile phone is something related to network Airtel. Can I pay that Airtel bill via Paytm? Yes. I can also pay via phone pay, via Google Pay, or via something like that. So whichever is having access. I mean that part. So that means that website through Paytm, if I can pay, yes, pay. What I will do, Paytm is one software. Through Paytm, you are connected to some other software and trying to pay the bill. Not direct, right? You are not directly opening the Airtel app website and directly not paying. If you are paying, opening Airtel website and paying directly means that is direct, one application. But it's the same thing what you are doing. You are trying to pay via some third party application, something like. So via different third party, like Paytm is there. Through Paytm, I'm able to pay. Through eSeva, I can pay. Okay, some other apps also there to pay, right? So there are so many applications that are available where you can pay instantly via through mobile apps only, right? That's fine. But are you going and opening that Airtel website and paying? No, right? So you can open any other website and also you can pay. So the which is having permissions, like where they can have that facility to use it. So Airtel have a tie-up with some Paytm, some other applications where they can also pay their bills via their website, right? So that means one software is accessing or sharing the resources of other software resources or not. That part I need to check, right? So which we can call it as what? Inter-system testing or web services testing. So that part is working fine or not via different application. Paytm, I am able to pay the Airtel bill or not, successfully or not. So one software is sharing the other software resources or not, which you can call it as what? Inter-system testing, right? Next, we have some more types of testing like buddy testing or pair testing, you can say. What is buddy testing? Buddy testing is something like buddy means what? Friend testing, you can say, right? Friend testing means generally whenever there is a lack of time, whenever there is a lack of time, there is a so when there is no time, how can we test? If I test it and find the defects and send it to the developer, it will take time for him to resolve because I don't have time. Immediately I have to fix. Let's say a developer is somewhere in US and you are in India. By the time you send the bug to the developer, he will check in the next day. But next day we need by the time next day we need to release that application to the client. So no time here. Due to lack of time, what is happening now? Delay in delivery. So in this case, what I can do? I perform buddy testing. Buddy testing means we are grouping developers and testers together and testing the application. Now tester is here. What I will do? That's why on-site opportunities. A tester also will go and sit with the developer. Means he is getting on-site opportunities where he will go and sit with the developer so that both are at the same time. Okay, both work at the same place. So, hey buddy, I got this problem. Can you fix it? Immediately, without any this thing, he will try to fix that problem because you are sitting with beside him. Means you are working with him. Otherwise, what will happen? You are somewhere else and he is somewhere else. And by the time you report the defect, by the time he checked it, the time get delayed. Instead of that, what we are doing, we are sitting with him and testing. So that I can directly ask him instead of mailing and all. I can ask directly. The person is available with me. I can ask him to fix it. So this work can go faster, right? So that kind of testing, what you can say, buddy testing. A pair testing is nothing but suppose we have some testers here. Who are the testers? Okay, Teja is one tester, Ambuja is one tester, Tejaswini is one tester, like that. So these all testers, what is happening is now if some new people have joined, like Tejaswini and all, okay, Tanushree have joined newly. Do they have the knowledge on the application? No. But still I gave the application test cases, some test cases I gave them to test it. But will they test it properly? No. Why? Because newly joined. Now only I assigned the work. If I assign now only how they test, because unless they don't have application knowledge. So, but still I want them to work. Still I want them to work. So what I will do, I know that they don't have knowledge on the application, domain knowledge they don't have, but I'll assign one senior testers to them. Whoever having experience, I will ask them to sit with them and help them. So now what they will do during new resource to join, they take the test cases, they will read it, they will execute it. So if any doubts they are getting while executing, they will ask the senior tester. So that senior testers will help them. So in this way, the work is getting done. So what like senior testers and junior testers are grouped together and testing the application, which is indirectly what you can say pair testing, pairing, two people working together. Because one person doesn't know that, don't have knowledge on the domain knowledge, application knowledge, so he's taking the senior's help and working on. In that way, he's gaining the knowledge at the same time, he's parallelly working on that software, testing that software. So which we call it as what? Pair testing. Whenever there is a lack of knowledge on the project domain, this pair testing will help. Whenever there is a lack of time, this buddy testing will help. Buddy means lack of time. Pair means lack of knowledge on the project domain. Correct? Next, some more 2-3 types of testings are there. This we'll discuss tomorrow. I'll cover it tomorrow. Okay. Till here, is it okay, everybody? Are you aware of it now? All testing types. Just to try to understand which type of testing when we have to use. What is buddy testing? What is pair testing? Buddy means lack of time. Pair means lack of knowledge on the application. The pair testing will be conducted like that. So just go through with this. Tomorrow we'll cover this remaining 2-3 and I will start the next fresh topic tomorrow. Okay. Any doubts you can ask. I think I have shared these notes.